Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Acupuncture's My Life. Now, I plan to continue discussing foods that'll help you sleep better because I've received such an overwhelming response. Thank yous and inquiring about are there even more foods? Yes, there are. And it goes on. I may do one more episode after this. I may not. I don't know yet. But to see that so many individuals have messaged us here at Acupuncture's My Life over the Acupuncture's My Life app, expressing thanks, inquiring about other foods, and some of you are even anxious and asking me about foods that I didn't even discuss or discuss yet. So I'll do an episode today continuing to talk about foods that can help you sleep better. I may do another one tomorrow. I don't know, because I'm really backed up with requests from so many individuals regarding so many health conditions and can they benefit from acupuncture. And in dealing with a 50,000 plus global audience, you can only imagine the requests that I have, the amount. Not going to say I'm going to get to everyone's question. I may start doing 2 podcasts a day to sort of like catch up, but that's to be discussed. But anyway, I want to jump right back into discussing foods that can help you sleep better. And you see, for starters, if you're seeing a physician on an annual basis for annual checkups and making regular wellness visits with an acupuncturist, these things you would already know. You'd be way ahead of the game. You wouldn't even have to wait for an Acupuncture's My Life podcast to tell you so many things that you would have learned from your acupuncturist. You definitely have to make acupuncture part of your life, guys. You really, really do. I know that most of you have already stated, thanks to these podcasts, you've turned to acupuncture. But then there's still like a small percentage, less than 10% of you guys that haven't done it yet. It's great that you enjoy the podcast and so forth. But ultimately, I want to know that you made acupuncture part of your life. But let's get back into certain foods. And I'm thinking of one, and another is bananas. Okay? What color is bananas? You answered that rather quickly. Now, the color of this particular food, if you listen to my podcast regularly, would be what? It would pertain to what internal organ? Some of you have gotten that right, and many of you have said you don't know. Yellow pertains to the spleen. So, is that not one of my favorite internal organs that represents the middle jowl, that and the stomach? Because all postnatal chi and blood is derived from the middle jowl. But you see bananas, okay? It's loaded with tryptophan, magnesium, and potassium. And you see, these particular minerals tend to help regulate blood pressure, and it also helps with getting a good night's sleep. It helps a whole lot. I mean, there's so much. Bananas in and of itself, think about it. One, it's a super healthy snack. And think of how much you can replace junk snacks with a banana. Because acupuncturist fully understands that the organs that bananas tend to favor the most are the stomach and the lungs. Why? Because it nourishes yin. Bananas, yes, nourish yin, and it moistens dryness. It also eases with constipation and dry throat. And these are things you would learn as a result of seeing an acupuncturist. And then, I always talk about teas, right? You get rid of the alcohol and the coffee and so forth. Room temperature water and different types of teas. One which is kind of cool if you have issues with sleeping is passion flower tea. Why? Because passion flower tea tends to reduce anxiety because of the antioxidants that are in it. It tends to reduce stress, and it also produces GABA. You remember me speaking about that? Which also helps with sleep quality. So passion flower tea is pretty cool, like, just to have shortly before bedtime. Another would be like one of my favorites is pistachios. Yeah, I love organic pistachios. Pistachios are awesome. Like I said, there's so many healthy foods out there that you can replace snacking on junk food with. And pistachios is one of them. It's yet another one. Loaded with protein, loaded with vitamin B6, loaded with magnesium, and it also contains a central ingredient that can help with sleep. And guess what that is? It's high in concentrations of melatonin. Yes. Pistachios are super, 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 super awesome. And you see, an acupuncturist knows that pistachios also benefit the lower jiao. The lower jiao, the main organs. See, I need my tea, my green tea. The main organs in the lower jiao are the liver and the kidneys. And pistachios are beneficial for the liver and kidneys. It balances both yin and yang. It also serves as a qi tonic, as well as also it can ease constipation and reduce blood cholesterol as well. These are things an acupuncturist would discuss with you. Cherries is another. I love cherries. Cherries are awesome. And I want you to keep in the back of your head the fact that, I'm bringing up these nuts, these seeds, these fruits and things like that. They can replace a lot of the junk in which you eat on a regular basis that's bad for you. You see, cherries are loaded with 4 different types of sleep regulating compounds. 1 being melatonin, 2 being tryptophan, 3 being potassium, and 4 being serotonin. So if you're feeling hungry and you're afraid to eat because you're gonna put on extra weight, or you'll eat something that'll be hard to digest and really tax your body, guess what? Cherries, and you would rarely hear me say this, cherries are an awesome bedtime snack. And they're super beneficial for both the spleen and the liver. See, these are things acupuncturists already know. And for men, guess what? Cherries astringes premature ejaculation. And cherries are used in the treatment of gout, and I've recommended to some of my gout patients cherries, and so of my colleagues. Great for arthritis, rheumatism, as well as it increases qi. Okay, that's definitely something to consider, to think about. All right. And the perfect bedtime snack. Another great food source is sweet potatoes. Love sweet potatoes. Stay away from the white potatoes. And I know some of you are like, well, why? You know what? I'm going to leave that up to an acupuncturist to explain to you. Only under certain circumstances. But even white potatoes, even though I'm not going to really get into it here, what color is it? It's white. It benefits the lungs. But here, sweet potatoes. Orange. Great for the spleen and stomach. It's a great source of potassium, magnesium, as well as calcium. And a combination of of these compounds tend to help relax a person and lower their blood pressure before bedtime. So sweet potatoes are great to enjoy for dinner, especially if you suffer from some type of sleep disorder. Okay. Let me think of another food source. Pineapple. Yellow on the inside. Spleen. Green on the outside. Liver. All right. Keep the colors. I mean, this is fun. Keep the colors of foods, healthy foods, are important. You see, pineapples are another fruit that can help you fall asleep because it gives a boost of melatonin production in your body. And it's an awesome snack. Just slice it yourself. Refrigerate what you're not eating for the moment. And take the rest to work or wherever you have to go. Even in your car, on the bus, on the train, wherever. Sitting in a park. You see, acupuncturist fully understands that pineapples are great for the stomach and the bladder because, one, it quenches thirst. It induces urination as well as it promotes digestion. And I've recommended, I myself, pineapples to certain patients who are experiencing digestive issues. Not all. And like I said, I'm not recommending you consume any of these foods. You can consume them at any time or whenever you want because they're all good for you. I'm not going to recommend you eat pizza or any type of bad food or eat chips. So I'm not really worried if you do decide on your own to eat pineapples or cherries. You're going to benefit from it irregardless. But these are healthy snacks. They really, really are. Because why? You have to understand. Health is wealth. I'm going to say it a million times. The wealth it's not in the bank and it's not in the safe. All right? It's not in an app on your phone. It's not in a cryptocurrency account. It's not in your wallet. The wealth is not in your purse, nor is it in your pocket. Keep that in mind. It's important that you keep this in mind. It's not under your mattress. It's not in the shoebox in the closet, nor is the wealth under the doghouse in the backyard. It's in you. It's in you. But you know what else is great for sleep? And I know some of you already know this, and it's chamomile tea. Notice I'm not saying anything about coffee. Notice that? Leave the fucking coffee alone, please. You don't need it. But chamomile tea. It's a soothing form of herbal tea that contains apigenin, okay, which is an antioxidant that latches on to certain receptors in the brain, and it induces sleepiness. Awesome. Awesome. Super awesome. Awesome. And these are things, again, you would learn if you were seeing an acupuncturist on a regular basis. Yep. And I'm glad many of you are learning this. I mean, you just think about what you're getting just from listening to Acupuncture's My Life podcast. Think about that. But before I close this episode, I'll give you one more. Another treat. Nice, healthy snack is dark chocolate. Healthy, organic dark chocolate. Not one of those commercial bars from the store. Some local whatever that you can find and get anywhere. No. Loaded with sugar. Quality, organic dark chocolate. The magnesium in dark chocolate can help a person sleep better. Why? Because it helps keep their circadian rhythm in sync, on track. Yep, it does. But like I said, these are things you would learn as a result of seeing an acupuncturist, which is why I'm always telling you, make acupuncture part of your life, okay? Because acupuncture is my life. What's yours?